Welcome to Chinwag. I'm Kim from Peaches Galore,
I'm Carla at Auntie Carla's.
and today we're going to talk about why your recall is failing.
Yeah, sorry to say it.
What a positive start to the show.
Yeah, you're wrong. You need to do better.
I think the problem is that we do have this kind of behavior pattern in dogs where we inadvertently untrain our recall.
Yeah. Or we do it like we do it to start with and we don't maintain it.
Yes,
And
because
then
it's
they're
just
like,
done.
I've
I
got
have
horse.
done.
Yeah, they literally, we do it like puppy class. Nailed it. My puppy can go off lead everywhere at 5 months. And now suddenly they're 7 months.
Imagine.
Oof. It's gone out the window.
Okay, let's start talking about why it goes out the window. Because it So my sister-in-law has just got a new puppy called Nancy, and she's a Rottie, and I'm obsessed.
That's quite cute.
Um, and I lent her, gave her loads of training stuff, and long lines were in it. And she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, for recall." I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "When do we start that?" And I was like, "Yesterday."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm going to go over when she can go out on her walks, and she will be off the lead
Yeah.
on when I'm there.
Yeah.
I Because when you have a brand new puppy and you take them for a walk, those very first few walks, they are like, "Oh my God, I stay with you. You are my safe space."
Yeah.
Um, and their recall is really easy to develop from that point.
Mm.
Um, because they naturally have that closeness.
And they also have shorter legs.
And
So
they're not quite as fast.
yes.
But I think it lulls people into this kind of false sense of security that they have done it
Yeah.
and it is finished,
Yeah.
because they have a 5-month-old puppy who generally is pretty good on recall.
Mhm.
And then adolescence comes along.
Tell us about adolescence, Kim. What happens in
So
adolescence?
in adolescence, what happens is there are two parts of the brain that develop at different times, and the risk-taking part of the brain develops first. And that, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, part of the brain develops later, just like in humans.
Yes.
And so
And some
puppies,
for later than others.
yeah, yes, and it does. It does vary between males and females. And so what you find is that puppy who was, "It's fine, I'll stay with you, you're my safe space," just goes, "But I think it's cool over here. I think it's fun over there. Oh my God, there's a dog I can go and play with." And they run off, and what their brain isn't doing is going, "I wonder if that dog's friendly. Like, I wonder if I should leave my safe person and like run off away from them." So in adolescence, what we find, and I do tell my puppy owners this, and I don't like breaking the bad news when they're like, "Oh, cool, isn't it amazing?" And I'm like, "It's really good. However,
Yeah.
we need to maybe dig that long line back out,
Mhm.
and we need to just rein them back in a little bit,
Yes.
because all those behaviors that we've worked really hard on are about to look like they're being unraveled."
This is it. And people are like, everything we've done's gone out the window. It's like, it's not gone out
It
the window.
hasn't. It's
You've
still
just
there.
now got a more difficult environment to have to work in.
Yeah.
Because, as you've said, risk taking is higher, common sense doesn't really exist. Your puppy now has all these hormones and these extra needs to go and
Extra
explore,
desires.
feeling all fruity, and chase drives building
Yeah.
and hunting drives building, depending on what dog you've got, that'll be stronger in some than others. And there's a lot of stuff happening. Their
Yeah.
brains growing. Like it's like with human teenagers, they just don't know whether they're coming or going.
No.
They smell a bit more. They maybe struggle with friendships, get a little bit trickier. There's a lot going on for them. So yeah, you're not always going to be that priority.
No, no, you're not. No. And then to compound all of that, our training gets a little bit ropey
It does. Yeah.
in the nicest possible way, because I think because we feel like we've done it.
Yeah.
And so we get frustrated.
Mm.
We might not have taken our bag of treats out, or our tug toys are at home,
Yeah.
or all of these things, or they've behaved in a way we feel is like they've been naughty or bad or inappropriate. And so when
Because
we
they've
get them back,
known.
yeah, we put them back on the lead. And
Yeah.
all of these little things that we do without meaning to are helping to
Yeah.
weaken that recall
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll unpick them today and give you some different strategies on what you can do when your recall hasn't been as successful as you were hoping it was going to be.
Yeah, there's like it's the realism of the fact that you've got to do a bit of work throughout. Like
Yeah.
you've got to keep topping up the jar of pennies of value for your dog coming back to you because again they're changing and growing and what they like and what they're interested in is going to change and grow. So you might find at 5 months old as well, they're not interested in the birds across the field, but you've then got an 18-month-old, I don't know, terrier, and suddenly your dog doesn't even look round at you, they're not interested in you. So you've got to be adaptable and be willing to keep topping up the training throughout their life. So, and like take treats out with you. Like, what is the problem with that?
People say
Like,
to
can
me,
I
like,
stop taking treats?
yeah, that is always the question. When do I stop taking the treats out with me? I'm like, I don't know, stand 6 and we still take treats out because
Yeah.
why wouldn't I?
Yeah. I'm like, when you stop getting paid for the job that you go
Yeah.
through is when you stop
I
giving your dogs treats.
classic example on Saturday, I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, how Stan's thing is the deer. And
Yeah.
we went on the walk where there are the deer, very, very rarely, and I saw a deer before Stan.
Well done.
Blew my little trumpet, popped him on the lead, and then we went and watched the deer. And I reinforced the not running after, which is the thing I find the hardest to do in this training scenario, is
Yeah.
because if
Usually
I
really
don't
fun.
see the deer first,
Yeah.
I'm out of luck.
Yeah.
But also we don't see them. Like I haven't seen a deer there in probably nearly a year now. So
Yeah.
the opportunity to train is really like difficult.
Yeah.
But because I always take treats, I was able to do my random piece of training that hopefully will stick for the rest of his life because one time. But and then the deer bounded away and I let Stan off the lead and I immediately he didn't go after it, but I immediately did like 2 or 3 recalls with rewards just to remind him, and then we carried on our walk.
Oh my God, if you have a dog with a deer chasing thing, guys, Bradgate Park near us at the minute is mental. I ran through it yesterday morning and I think there's close to 1,000 deer currently
Yeah.
around there, and I was quite scared.
We we've got Studley where we are. It's a deer park, that's what it is. But the problem with that is that there are too many deer. Like
Oh yeah, that's what we have there.
it's going from the sublime to the ridiculous. Like I can't. So anyway, that's why you should always have treats, because some things will crop up on your walk when your dog is 8, 9, 10 years old and you
Yeah.
still need treats. So just take the goddamn treats.
Like the treats. Oh my God.
But
Okay.
going back to your example with the terrier and the birds,
Yeah.
what often will happen in that scenario is that the dog will go and chase the birds and then the owner will stand there. They might move. Often they stand there and they just repeatedly call their dog, Fido come, Fido come, Fido come. And the dog does not come.
Yeah.
And what they're learning in that moment is it's optional. I don't have to go back. I can carry on. Fido come means carry on chasing the birds.
Yeah. It's a broken recall pattern,
It's
isn't it?
really weakening that recall.
Yeah.
You need to, instead of repeatedly calling them, what you need to do instead is get your dog's attention and then use your recall.
Yeah.
If your dog is
If you've got a terrier, move yourself as well.
move.
Run.
Don't stand still. Yeah. But working on getting your dog's attention, which generally means you have to move, you also have to do silly things, make silly noises, squeak something. But if your dog is really interested in the birds or another dog or the squirrel, whatever it is, if you call them, they're not going to come back.
Yeah. It's knowing when, like you said, it's knowing when is appropriate to use your recall cue and knowing the strength of that cue in the moment you're in and whether to waste it or not
Yeah.
as well. Because if you've got a puppy as well and you're learning recall, there's another example, and it's still in the early stages, and then you go out and there's a park or an environment where you know it is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Don't waste your recall. Put a long line on and wait until you've conditioned it longer,
Yeah.
improved it to use it there. Like instead, just go ready, like
Yeah.
something, play with your
Oh,
dog, make you interesting.
I always say to my owners, if you can put £1,000 bet down that when you say Fido come or use your whistle, however you're going to call your dog back to you, like you need to be putting £1,000 down on that recall that your dog is going to come back to you.
Yeah.
You need to be betting high that when you call them, they're coming. So that you can really test whether you think you should be using it or not. We are really verbal animals and we will call our dogs before we've thought about whether it's appropriate or not. And that's where whistles sometimes have an edge because there's a more of a thought process. We're using different parts of our brain.
Yeah.
Often with our verbal cues, we are just using them before we've thought about it. And we panic a little bit, maybe. Our dog's running the wrong way and it comes out. But thinking about it, like what can you do to make sure your dog's going to come back? How are you going to win that bet is hugely important.
Yeah. Yeah. People do panic.
The other thing people do,
moments.
the other thing people do, and I don't think most of them know that they're doing it, is they'll have been walking around a field. Maybe if they're like me, they'll have the lead around their neck. And then the thought process goes, I need to call my dog back to put them on the lead. And so they get the lead and they take it off from around their neck. They hold it in their hand and they go, let it go. The dog goes, no thanks. You're going to put that lead on me.
Yeah. Fun over.
And that's the end of my fun time. And it's like a signal to say, this is the end.
Yeah. Stay far away.
Don't come back. Or they'll do that thing where they run up but not quite close enough that you can actually get them, and then they do that keep away game.
Yeah.
So just be really aware of, do you do that? Because that is a me thing. I had to really work on taking that apart and not doing that. And also always doing it at the same point.
Yeah.
We walk around the field, we get back here, I call you, and then we go home.
Yeah.
Every day. Or
dogs literally work by pattern. So if you are patterning something, if you're creating a habit, they'll know about it before you know about it.
Yeah.
So don't habitually do the same things. Or if you are gonna hold the lead up and cue your dog to recall, get them coming in and then feed them and then send them off again. And
then,
or put it on and then play a game.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like pop the lead on, feed them, take the lead off.
Yeah.
It is, especially if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, my bad.
That's me. Hi, yeah, I see myself doing that, which, people, you do not know you're doing it. It is a thought pattern. You don't go, I'm going to hold the lead in my hand so the dog can see that I'm going to we don't think that. So just working through that is, I just see it all the time.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind.
And number one, pain in the ass thing, literally probably for some dogs, that people do when they're recalling their dog is they ask them to do what? Sit. Oh my goodness me. Like, just give them a break. Like your dog is, imagine this, your dog is flying at you. I was going to say 100 miles an hour, but that's not possible for a dog. Really fast to be successful with this recall because you've patterned it, you've done it really well. Their adrenaline is through the roof because they've just chased something and they're coming back to you. You ask them to sit. They've had to skid stop, put the brakes on, put their butt on the floor, hold themselves still. All this energy is fizzing around them and you're asking them to keep this still position. And what you've effectively done is you've not rewarded the recall.
No.
So you've just wasted everything you've been doing.
You always have to think that you are rewarding the very, very, very last thing that your dog did.
Yeah.
And if that is a sit, great. But if you wanted to reward the recall, you haven't.
Yeah, you haven't. No. So you can feed them as soon as they get back. And if you really need to ask them to sit for any reason, which I can't think of, then ask them to sit and then feed them again. Just don't be
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah, stop being tight with your treats.
Yeah.
Literally, Penny.
I think it literally is tight, just people being tight, isn't it?
Yeah. I have an alternative recall if I need Stan to come back and I need him 100% under control the second, like if I maybe see some horse riders, for example, and that is my middle cue,
Yep.
I can shout Stanley middle anywhere and he will run back to me and sit.
Yeah.
But that is what I am asking him to do.
Yeah.
The recall part of that is almost irrelevant because the middle gets the proximity I need.
Yeah.
So middle, if you're not sure, is where a dog comes around and sits in between your legs.
Yeah.
Facing the same way as you.
Yeah.
So I have that, and I teach my owners that is my alternative if I need them to be there.
Under control. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
or if
easier.
You have a dog that plays keep away, that's a way of kind of
getting them in. Yeah. And you can access your dog's harness a lot easier.
Yeah.
Fight, you can hold on to them, you keep them still, you can keep them safe.
I use middle loads.
Yeah.
I use it not just as kind of getting him back to me when I need him I use it in a coffee shop queue. I use it if I want to put his harness on. If there's something in the environment I'm not sure about and I want a little bit more proximity and a little bit more it looks really good.
It does look wicked, doesn't it?
But there are alternatives. If you are somebody who's like, oh, well, my dog always runs back and jumps up at me.
Yeah.
We can teach alternatives, but make sure your recall is your recall, your middle is your middle, and your sit is your sit, and they are all rewarded separately.
Yeah. And I think the middle is easier for the dog physically to do. Than to fly at you to the front of your body and determine when to stop. And that's why you get a lot of jumping up. Yeah. Because your body is here and your dog is coming at it. Whereas the middle tells them to go round the back into the
slow and round.
And then come in. And they're not then facing your front, which does reduce jumping.
I also, with the jumping, sometimes wonder about where the owner's holding their treat. So usually holding it up. As a bribe to get your dog to come back, they're going to fly at your hand that's high. So there's so many bits to break down. But fundamentally, dog trainer, if your dog is running back to you and they're really excited to do that, feed it, reward it, fill it up. Like that's gold. Like go with it.
Do it on the floor where you are.
Yeah.
And don't be tight.
Don't be tight.
Like if it's your one most valuable thing that you teach your dog, it is that if they fly back to your feet, they have a treat party.
Yeah.
If you're gonna just strengthen it, it's an emotional strengthening of that relationship with the cue.
There's so many elements to it.
Yeah.
But it's I think people are like, but it's a sit. Like we always. And I'm like, but we're always rewarding the last thing that our dogs did. Like, always. And you want it to be that that's what we want to be rewarding.
Yeah.
I think a lot of dogs don't like sit fun. I couldn't tell you the last time I taught a sit.
No, I don't.
I don't run puppy classes either, but I don't in my day-to-day training, I don't.
Yeah, I can't imagine how in separation anxiety it would be important either.
No, I mean I don't just do.
I know.
But I've even had loads of puppy training recently. Puppy one-to-ones.
Oh, I was going to add in just because it was, irrelevant now, but one of my clients that you have met, Gemma.
Oh yeah.
She will be listening to this probably at some point, and she does middle as a recall, but she cues it as take cover. And
I love that.
Best thing ever. And she puts an arm out to the side, she'll go, Timmy, take cover. And he goes, woo, that's middle. And I'm like, I would love for you to yell that in a woodland when I'm there. She's like, take cover. You'd be like, oh my God, what? If you heard that.
I do love it when clients have got really innovative cues for things.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it doesn't matter what you say. You can say banana as long as you're consistent with it. It doesn't actually matter. But mine are really middle, sit down.
That's just what you'd remember, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I like that one, take cover. That's a good one.
It's nice, isn't it?
Speaking of not being tight with rewards,
Yeah.
um, be mindful that with recall for our dogs, rewards are happening away from us quite a lot. Whether that is the fun of chasing a bird or a squirrel, whether that is a social interaction with a person or a dog or a whatever. Um, that's really rewarding for our dogs. So
Mm.
if they're playing with another dog and we call them away and we put them on the lead and we give them a bit of kibble for our troubles and then we take them away,
Yeah.
actually we haven't rewarded anything in that situation because the reward was playing with the other dogs, not the bit of kibble that we fed them, because that's all we took out on our walk with us today.
Yeah, and in fact, it can work completely the opposite and become quite aversive. Recall can be aversive because
Yeah,
it's what it feels like to the dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
So instead, if you have got a very pro-social dog who likes playing with other dogs, firstly, you need to be able to recall them off other dogs.
Mm.
Like that is fundamental. And the way you can do that is by teaching them that coming back to you is not only a treat party, but it also allows them to go back and play. So the more often you can wait for a little natural break in your dog's playing, call them away when you are confident you're going to win that bet, reward them heavily for doing that, but then let them go back and play.
Yeah.
Like that's a good break in the play.
Yeah. And it's a way of reducing frustration because
Yeah.
they're like, you're not taking the fun away from me, actually. I might get the fun back, but also the extra bonus
And the
of the
extra bit.
reward. Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not going to be appropriate that they can go back and play, and that's fine. But if you can build it in as much as you can, that's really going to help your dog longer term.
Yeah. I have so many conversations with people nowadays about like ways of training to reduce frustration
Yeah.
because I think the old school way of working with frustration is trying to teach stillness and calm and it's like it just is the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just build frustration if you don't give dogs appropriate access to the things that they're
Yeah.
finding rewarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we can do, it doesn't always have to be food rewards either. If you've got a dog that really loves a game,
Mm.
calling them away from the other dogs or whatever it is, playing and then letting them go again is
Yeah.
going to, again, reduce that frustration and build a reinforcement history with you.
Yeah.
And if
Or
you've got if you've got a very pro-social dog and you haven't got that recall off other dogs, they need to be on a long line.
yeah. Yeah.
How it is. I'm
It
sorry.
is true. Yeah,
We
like you
all
said,
hate them.
£1,000 bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all think long lines are a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
We all like they are challenging in certain situations to use, but they
Mhm.
are essential.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stop asking for sits and get your long line back out. That's
That's the motto of today.
the motto of today.
The other thing, just to touch on as well, is not only repeating your cue, but what tends to go alongside that is your tone of voice.
Yeah.
And it starts off like, I can do this, I'm going to win my bet. And then the bet is not won. And then if you keep calling, frustration from our side will start to creep in, and our tone of voice gets angrier, sterner, yeah, grumpier.
Yeah.
And then you become the angry person in the field.
Yeah.
If I do come,
Yeah. We've
no
all
one
done it before. We've all done it where,
yeah,
we all have a patience limit and we all get quite embarrassed
yeah,
if we thought it was going to go well and it didn't, and you've got other people there judging what you're doing.
absolutely.
It's just the thing is, the more angry you get, the less likely your dog's going to want to come close to you
Oh,
because
you look fun. Let me rub that
yeah,
in.
okay.
Okay, that like yeah.
Yeah.
So just being aware, and again, that's where your whistle. If you are, I have quite a short tolerance,
Yeah.
and I know that the whistle works better for me because my tone of voice will change quite quickly, and so I prefer not to
Can't
use.
imagine that, Kim.
Imagine,
Can't imagine.
my tolerance. It also helps if you're a panicker as well. So, for example, going back to the deer that I saw the other day on my walk, if I hadn't seen that and Stan runs, if then your voice is prone to be like panicky, panicky, your whistle is probably where you want to be going. You want
Yeah.
some all tone. You want to be quite samey whenever you call your dog with your tone. And if that's going to alter, then a whistle.
Yeah, I think it's good to be able to have like a multi-level of recourse.
Yeah.
Like I think whistle training for me is always going to be number one through most
Yeah.
dogs. But
Love.
also you need to have something that is a fallback if you lose your whistle.
Absolutely. Because I always say to people, you need three whistles. Like you need one that's almost attached to your dog's lead. I like one on some kind of lanyard around my neck, and
Mm.
maybe one in your car or on your car keys, because it is really easy to go out without one.
Yeah.
Um, but my whistle recall is always my like best. But I have about 6 other recalls that I can use as well,
Yeah.
depending on the scenario. Because also, if your dog's not that far away, you need to call them back. The whistle feels a bit overkill.
A bit. Yeah.
If I saw a deer and Stanley is 4 feet away from me, I need him to come back. I'm not going to whistle him.
Yeah, like a Stanley Cone will be fine.
Yeah, or a middle or
Yeah.
a touch.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many options.
We have a this way cue in our world as well, which means
Yes.
no, we're not going on that path. We're going on this one.
It means change direction, but you don't have to come
Yeah,
to me.
but you don't have to come back to me. You just
Yeah.
have to be aware that I'm not following you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's having that little toolbox of recall cues, because sometimes a recall isn't necessary. Sometimes you want them to be fully under control. That's where your middle will come in.
Mm.
Sometimes you just want proximity. Sometimes you just need to change it up as well, because nagging is one that we've not talked about. Those
Yeah.
people who constantly call their dog every minute.
I think if you feel like you have to call your dog every minute, they shouldn't be off lead.
No, because you have no trust in.
No, either you don't have trust or they are constantly getting so far away that it's not manageable.
Yeah,
And I see that a lot. And I see it a lot with people that have puppies that are really trialing it as well. And I'm like, you've called them 4 times in the space of a minute.
yeah,
I feel like it's probably not the right time for you to do that, or you should stop at one,
yeah,
realize that was a success,
yeah.
and just stick the lead back on.
Yeah. For any parents listening, it's effectively what I get when I get the mum, 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 mum.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't actually transpire to mean anything.
Yeah.
And then you don't listen when it actually does mean something. So yeah, I
Mm.
think just being really aware of that,
Mm.
your tone of voice, and if maybe would a whistle help with that. If you do go down the whistle route, I put it on a pedestal, and it is so selective when I use it. Like the dog is almost running back to me, if not running back to me, and then I'll blow my whistle. Like if I'm going down the whistle recall route, it is almost as perfect recall training as I can make it, because
Yeah.
I've got choices.
Yeah. And like a thing that we've not said that I think is possibly one of the biggest things you can do is if you're walking around with your dog and they come to check in, feed.
Don't be tight.
Don't be tight. Like they're just because you haven't called them, they voluntarily decided, let's just check in with mum or dad and see if I get anything. That's an amazing behavior. You
Love
want
it.
to be like chucking treats out everywhere for
Yeah,
that, and then yeah, you don't have to train recall as hard because they're already choosing it.
absolutely. And one way to do that in a mindful way is, if you're going out for like a 30-minute walk, count out 30 treats before you go. They don't have to be particularly high value, but they do need to be small.
Mm.
And see if you can get rid of all 30 treats on your walk,
Well,
just without, you may need to call your dog separate, but without, these are treats specifically for your dog checking in. And the first few walks, you'll go home with some. But as you are really mindfully trying to get rid of these treats for these check-ins, your dog will do it more and more and more.
Yeah, I like that. It's a really good challenge.
I love that. I do it so much, but Stanley's too good at it now.
Yeah, he's like, I look away, I look back.
We can get rid of them in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take more than that. If you're going for an hour's walk, still just kind of top out at 30 treats. But
Yeah.
it just makes, because it becomes a bit of a game, a bit of a challenge, it makes people a little bit more mindful of what they're trying to do, rather than if I say every time your dog checks in, feed them. If I'm like, right, I want you to see how quickly you can get through these treats.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Set that
Maybe
as homework for my
let us know. Yeah, have a go at that at home and see if it helps, and then let me know your time of how quickly you can get rid of those 30 treats.
Yeah, love that.
Hopefully that's helped, because recall's always a one.
It is a one. If you
Always.
get it good, you get it great, but it just some dogs do need a bit more work and some people need a bit more work.
Yeah. And it's finding that relationship between the two, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Right
Awesome.
then. We'll see you
See
next week.
you next week, love. Bye.
Bye.